Hey there, fellow explorers of the unknown, welcome back to another descent into the chilling depths of real horror stories. I'm your host, Yummies, and today, we're hopping on a plane, not literally budget cuts, and traveling across continents to the land of pharaohs, pyramids, and probably some questionable street meat, Egypt. Now when you think of Egypt, you might think of ancient wonders, King Tut, and maybe those little hats they wore. But lurking beneath the sands are stories whispered on the Nile, tales that would make your cat Bastet hide under the rug. We're talking curses so potent they could ruin your day, your week, maybe even your afterlife. So, grab your exploration gear, maybe some garlic just in case, because we're diving headfirst into the haunted heart of Egypt. Buckle up, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Alright, let's kick things off with a tale so old it makes dust bunnies look like spring chickens. We're talking about the infamous curse of the Pharaohs. See, for centuries, maybe even millennia, those ancient Egyptians, they believed in some serious afterlife insurance. They figured if you mess with a pharaoh's eternal slumber party, you're gonna have a bad time. And they weren't messing around. We're talking elaborate tombs, booby traps that would make Indiana Jones sweat, and enough curses to make a mummy want to stay buried. Fast forward to 1922, a time when apparently nobody watched horror movies. This guy, Howard Carter, a British archaeologist, stumbles upon the tomb of the boy king himself, Tutankhamun, aka King Tut. You'd think he'd be stoked, right? Wrong. People started dropping like flies. We're talking sudden illnesses, freak accidents, even a few cases of he just seemed to wither away. Now, was it bad takeout or the wrath of a vengeful pharaoh? We may never know for sure. But let's just say I'm not booking a flight to raid any pyramids anytime soon. Some folks say it was all just media hype, yellow journalism gone wild. Others, they whisper about ancient poisons hidden in the tombs or some kind of supernatural revenge mechanism. I mean, have you ever tried returning something to a store without a receipt? It's basically the same thing, but with more canopic jars. The point is, whether you're a skeptic or a full-blown believer in spooky curses, the story of King Tut's tomb and the string of unfortunate events surrounding it is enough to make you think twice about disturbing the eternal rest of a pharaoh. I mean, let the dead rest, right? Unless they have good snacks, then maybe it's worth the risk. Now, if you thought cursed tombs were creepy, hold on to your hats, or should I say, your cot. Because we're sailing down the Nile to a story that's all about a boat. Not just any boat, mind you, but a pharaoh's boat. See, the ancient Egyptians, they were really into boats. They believed that when a pharaoh kicked the bucket, they needed a ride to the afterlife. And not just any old dinghy, we're talking a luxurious, handcrafted, fit-for-a-king vessel. So archaeologists, being the curious cats they are, excavated this massive boat near the Great Pyramid of Giza. Now you'd think after thousands of years buried in the sand it would just smell like, well, old wood. But no, according to the workers on site, the stench coming from this thing was rancid, like worse than a camel that skipped its morning ablutions. And if that wasn't bad enough, the workers started having nightmares. Vivid, disturbing dreams filled with ancient rituals, angry gods, and enough sand to fill a sandbox the size of Texas. Coincidence? Probably not. I mean, when you're digging up ancient artifacts and suddenly your dreams turn into a horror movie marathon, it's time to start asking questions. Some say the boat was cursed, its timbers imbued with the tormented souls of those who built it. Others believe it was a portal, a gateway to the netherworld that the ancient Egyptians were so desperate to reach. Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure, that boat was bad news. It's like that one friend's car that always has something wrong with it, but on a much grander, more pharaoh-y scale. So, next time you're tempted to take a joyride in a 5,000-year-old boat, just remember this story. It might save you a whole lot of trouble and some seriously unpleasant nightmares. Chapter 3. Now, let's fast forward a few centuries, or maybe millennia, I don't have a time machine, to the early 1900s. We're in Cairo, the bustling metropolis of Egypt, where amidst the modern buildings and honking taxis, stands a grand palace with a dark and twisted past, the Baron Empain Palace. Picture this, a Belgian millionaire, Baron Empain, rocks up to Egypt and decides to build himself a palace so lavish, so opulent, that it would make even the most jaded pharaoh jealous. But, like any good ghost story, tragedy struck. The Baron's beloved wife, she died within the palace walls. Now some say it was a tragic accident, others whisper about darker forces at play. Whatever the cause, her death cast a shadow over the opulent palace, a shadow that lingers to this day. Because after her passing, strange things started happening. Lights flickered on and off like a disco for ghosts, disembodied footsteps echoed through the empty halls, and whispers, faint and chilling, seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. Locals claimed to see a woman in white, presumably the Baron's late wife, wandering the palace grounds, her sorrowful cries echoing in the night. Visitors reported feeling cold spots, sudden drops in temperature that could chill your bones faster than a dip in the Nile on a winter's day. Some even claimed to have been touched, unseen hands brushing against their skin, leaving behind a trail of goosebumps and a lingering sense of dread. The Baron Empain Palace, once a symbol of wealth and grandeur, became a haunted monument to a love lost too soon. It stands as a chilling reminder that even in the heart of a bustling city, some secrets, some stories refuse to stay buried. Chapter 4. Alright, for our final stop on this haunted Egyptian escapade, we're heading south of Cairo to the lesser-known but no less terrifying Black Pyramid of Dahshur. Now this pyramid, it doesn't have the glitz and glam of its Giza cousins. It's older, rougher around the edges. Kinda like that one uncle who shows up to family reunions in a Hawaiian shirt. But what it lacks in polished limestone, it makes up for in sheer, unadulterated creepiness. See, this pyramid, it's shrouded in tales of strange occurrences and unexplained phenomena that would make even the most hardened skeptic sleep with the lights on. Visitors have reported sudden gusts of cold wind inside the pyramid, even when the air outside is stifling hot. Some claim to have heard chanting, faint and ethereal, echoing through the chambers, as if the ancient priests never truly left. And then there's the feeling of being watched. That unsettling sensation that something or someone is lurking just beyond your field of vision, its eyes boring into you, studying you, judging you. Some visitors, they've even felt invisible hands pushing them, shoving them, as if the spirits themselves are trying to warn them, to drive them away from this place of ancient power. Local legends say the Black Pyramid is guarded by the spirits of the workers who built it, and the priests who performed their rituals within its dark heart. They say these spirits are protective, fiercely loyal to their pharaoh, even in death. But whether they're protectors or punishers, one thing's for sure, you don't want to be on their bad side. So, if you ever find yourself venturing into the shadow of the Black Pyramid, tread carefully, show some respect, and maybe, just maybe, you'll make it out with your sanity intact. Or at least with a good story to tell. Outro. So, the next time you're flipping through travel brochures and you see those pristine pyramids glistening under the desert sun, remember there's more to Egypt than meets the eye. Behind the ancient wonders and the golden treasures, there lie secrets, whispers of curses, haunted palaces and restless spirits that roam the land. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of Egypt's haunted history, hit that like button harder than a scorpion in a Tomb Raider's boot. Subscribe for more chilling tales from around the world, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on our next spooky adventure. Until then, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, sometimes the truth is spookier than fiction.